We are living through the greatest heist in human history, but no one is stealing your money, they're stealing your cognitive sovereignty. Every notification, every targeted ad, and every AI-generated suggestion is a tiny withdrawal from the bank of your free will. We'll talk about success as if it's a matter of hustle, but in 2026, success is a matter of defense. So we're going to explore how to build a fortress mind, looking at why some of the most successful people of the next decade won't be those with the most information, but ones who still own their own attention. So we're going to start with the +1 skill stacking. So future-facing ideology, but very much rooted in human truth. Will, if you were stripped of your devices and your digital echo chamber for 48 hours, would you still know what your uninfluenced opinion sounds like?
I think it would be an interesting process. It might even take more than 48 hours for me to fully identify what my uninfluenced opinions are. I think because I've grown up with social media and I've grown up with all these external influences, trying to identify what is my original thought versus what is my influenced thought by somebody else, it's very difficult. I feel like most people only echo what other people say. That's something Jordan Peterson has said a lot, which is, most people are just echo chambers for their champion, whoever they've seen. So for me, it would be Alex Hormozy. I listened to him a lot. I was listening to him yesterday while we were working out.
Which is wild, by the way. Listening to a podcast while you work out is just incorrect.
It's better than nothing, though, right?
I don't know. Carry on.
Motivates me. It's like, yeah, millions. So I end up saying a lot of the things that he says through, I think, trying to adopt those mindsets myself, because I feel like if I have the mindset that he has at whatever stage of business I'm on, I'm able to apply that and integrate that authentically into my life, versus if I just quote him verbatim every time, then it's, that's just quoted. It doesn't feel like it's really gone in. But if you can reword things into your own way, then you're taking it on board more authentically.
So I suppose my question is it a bad idea to adopt someone else's mindset? Because that's almost what you're suggesting is, and don't get me wrong, I want to go back to the initial question at hand, but off what you're suggesting, it's if someone is influenced by outside perspective and they're going to start adopting either one person or a culmination of the people they're absorbing, is it a bad thing if they're adopting someone else's mindset or ideologies?
I don't think so. I think the tendency is to reach for yes, but I think if you zoom out, and even if you remove social media out of it, people in your life, parents, role models of any kind, siblings, you already are influenced by them. And I would argue that's a more powerful influence than social media. Depends how much weight you put on what each person says, but generally I think people respect their parents, whether they like them or not. And that means that your views on this is a safe area, this isn't, might be something that parents tell you from a very young age. You're going to adopt that into your head.
So I suppose it depends, sorry to cut you off, on whose ideology or mindset you're adopting and why. Because there's probably positive traits you can adopt, which is like a growth mindset, resilience, optimism, are probably all great for personal development or business or social interactions. But maybe if you're surrounding yourself, and this is purely based on my own decisions of how I navigate the world, but people please feel to disagree with me. If someone was listening to and adopting the mindsets of, say, Andrew Tate, that's likely, in my mind, a negative. So that's going to be the toxic, immature masculinity there. It's a severe disrespect for women, which I suppose the question comes down to is whose mindset you're adopting and why. And also, why do you feel the need to adopt that person's mindset? What is it about that person or that ideology that speaks to you? Again, if you're listening to Alex Hormozy, what is it about that? It's likely his work ethic. It's likely his success. It's likely the way he comes at problems or systemizes his life. Whereas if, say, someone is looking at Andrew Tate, is it because they're actually feeling a severe lack of loneliness and this is giving them a sense of purpose or a sense of a safety to navigate? Is it giving them a community that also feel like they are surrounded by people in similar scenarios? So I suppose the question, is why are you adopting that person's mindsets?